So on that note, speaking of the modern environment, what are some environmental toxins that are speeding up the decline of the brain right now?
Probably the most common one is air pollution. Okay. And
what do you do about that though?
Yeah, so this is why it's really tricky to talk about it, because like most people can't be like, oh well, I have the finances, opportunity to just like move into the mountains, and that's where I can do my job. So there are a few things that you can do. One is have an air filter or air purifier.
Do you like a specific style?
I don't. Mainly because anything is better than nothing.
Sure.
Especially if you live in a very densely populated, or you have a lot of traffic, road pollution nearby, or you live somewhere near a factory or a plant or something that's releasing stuff into the air. There was a really interesting study recently where they just had people put an air purifier into the rooms that they spent most of their time if they had high blood pressure, and they saw significant reductions in blood pressure in that group compared to a control group.
Wow. And
that's one of so how it affects blood pressure and oxidative stress and other things and potentially inflammation. That's one way that the air pollution is negatively impacting our health. Another thing, not a randomized control trial, but quite a nice and interesting study, and because it aligns with other things that I'd recommend anyway, there was a study at the University of Washington that looked at air pollution exposure. So particularly particulate air pollution, like the 2.5 micron, you'll kind of see that when people write about this stuff in the news. People who were exposed to more of that type of particulate air pollution had a higher risk of dementia, but only if they had low intake of B vitamins. So those who had high exposure but took in lots of B12 and folate seemed to have less of a risk. So again, it's not a randomized trial, but I'm going to tell you to take enough B vitamins anyway. So